Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here today with standout senior linebacker Shane Forman of the Southern Lab Kittens. Got back to the Division IV state championship and brought one back to Baton Rouge. Shane was an all-state performer as a junior. We still are waiting on those teams to be released for this year, but had another fantastic season this year for a really great season for the Kittens as a whole. And Shane, man, how's everything been going? I know it was a lot of fun getting that state championship, and y'all have probably been celebrating it a little bit here still the last couple of weeks. But what's been up?
Nothing much. Really just getting back in the lab, lifting weights, working on feet work. And I also play basketball too, so.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. You had been playing basketball more like, your dad was a player of the year back in his day as a basketball player. Big brother was more on the football side, ended up going on from Lab to Arizona State where he's just finished up his college career. But you didn't really get back to the football side until last year and had that fantastic year back as a junior. So again, we'll get back to some more of your individual journey, but you guys, I think last year felt like you probably could have finished better, but last year y'all dealt with so much. Everyone dealt with the COVID thing. Y'all dealt with several key injuries that slowed y'all down at a key point in the season. What was the build up to this year like? Guys like you and Herman Brister and AJ Izzard and the list goes up, Chris Best, that we're all going to be seniors, Darren Morris. What was the goal setting and the expectation like for this year really from Jump Street?
The goal was really set from our freshman year on up. Well, it was just like at the end of last year, we had that salty taste in our mouth. So really after that game, we just said, I'm not trying to lose. I'm not trying to lose no more playoff games. We wanted to go out with a bang. We wanted to show Southern Lab that 2022 stands out.
What was special about this group of seniors or this year's team as a whole? What do you feel like kind of sets y'all apart and let y'all etch your name and your group and your team into that legacy where you're at a school that has a really a long, proud tradition of a lot of success across sports? What was special about your group in particular?
Southern Lab as a small school, 1A. So I just felt like our team was just like a brotherhood. Like we all chill, we hang out together, we go to parties together, we go to each other's houses, play the game. It felt like a brotherhood.
Y'all knew that the big potential was there, but had obviously fallen short of the goal last year. When did it click, whether at some point during offseason training or at some point this season where it really, that potential and that goal started to feel that much more real and you could kind of taste or see the light at the end of the tunnel and realize that y'all were kind of hitting that stride?
To me, it really clicked after our first game. Our first game we played Madison Prep. We lost, but they was a state championship team too. So us hanging in with them, and we really was a team that beat ourselves that game. So that just clicked to me. Oh, we state championship contenders.
What did the coaches talk to you guys about after that one? Because a lot of times, as much fun as it is to win on a Friday night, if you take a loss and something that you can learn from it, it can help really spark what's ahead. What was the communication like to y'all to have gone toe-to-toe in a game that was a close game with a 3A state champion, as you mentioned, to let y'all know what needed to get done for you guys to be there at the end of this year?
Our director had came to us right after that game, and he had said the Division IV state championship wasn't played today. Y'all played y'all heart out. We had minor mistakes that cost us the game. We're gonna build from that. And it was week one, so they played a big role.
And I've been told that getting over that semifinal hump was a big moment for you guys too, where it became that much more clear how within grasp everything was. Y'all had some good teams that ran into some hurdles that you couldn't overcome in some recent quarter and semifinal type games. As you guys wind things down with a victory at home and then find out, I guess, a week later that it's going to be a state championship in the Dome, what was the excitement and the focus? How would you just describe where that team was mentally? Because it seemed like y'all were locked in, and it was just a matter of getting to it, and y'all knew what y'all were going to do.
So it was like really a 2-week process. So I'd say the first week we was like in shock. We was happy we gonna be playing for state. We're gonna be playing for state. And then as it went on, 2 days passed. It was just okay. Let's lock in. Let's learn the opponents, and let's go get the job done.
A lot of people looked at the last two state champions, Ouachita Christian and Calvary Baptist, on the other side of the bracket, and there was an expectation that the winner of their game was the team to beat in y'all's division. How much of that did you guys hear? How much of that did you guys talk about and kind of have a little chip on your shoulder? Because y'all were there at the end of a fantastic season, knew the talent that was there, had finally stayed healthy this year, were the number 2 seed, and people are really focused on these other 2 schools that had taken home the last 2 crowns. Again, how much of that did you hear, and how much of that did y'all kind of use as a little extra motivation there?
Not gonna lie, both of them programs, they nice. It was just we knew when the brackets came out and both of them was on the other side. All right, one of these 2 teams gonna make it to state. It's just we gonna make it to state too. That's how we felt. We gonna make it to state too. We better than both of the programs. How we felt. So it was just I don't know. It was just we feel like we was better. We feel like we was gonna play. We gonna potentially play one of them. So we just had to execute. That's how we felt.
How would you describe the way that you guys started that game, where AJ kind of got into a rhythm and was getting the ball to Herman and Darren, and I mean, really the whole cast of characters? Sean started getting some things going in the run game, and y'all defensively were giving OCS a level of fits that very few teams have in a long time. It was obviously an impressive start to watch. How would you describe the way it felt as things were kind of clicking that quickly?
Not even gonna lie to you, as players, we knew we was gonna be able to score with them. It was just was the defense gonna hold up? That's how we felt. The defense needed to step up because they couldn't score in numbers. It's just they defense. It was kind of shaky, and the talent we had. So we just felt if we get the stops, if we get a ton of stops, we gonna win this game by a lot.
What worked so well for y'all defensively? Because y'all had a fantastic defensive performance, and a couple of the guys that I had mentioned, Herman was making plays back in coverage. He was coming up and making plays behind the line of scrimmage. Chris was doing his thing up front on that line. You made a couple really key stops for the defensive side of the ball. I remember one where you showed some incredible quickness to the outside and into the backfield on a 3rd down that forced them to punt right as they were trying to think they could get a little bit of something going offensively. What did y'all do so well that stifled them to that degree?
I would say D-line. Just our D-line improved tremendously. Like from last year to this year, you wouldn't even know. And like with the secondary we had and linebacker core, it made it easier because the D-line was getting pressure like every play.
So y'all close it out. You win 38-14. You're state champions. The first time since that run a few years back with all those greats that had gone through there. What does it mean to finish your high school career, at least football wise, with that trophy and bring that thing back, that to finish the goal that y'all had set for so long?
It means so much, just from my family aspect and just as a team. The Daryl Asbury, our head coach. He ain't get a high school state championship coaching wise, so it was just pleasing, to give it to him.
You mentioned coach, and he's a guy that has done such a great job building that program back to where you guys are now as state champions. What stands out about him and the assistants there that y'all work with every day? What has enabled them to get the most out of y'all and have this level of success?
They are like father figures to us. Like if you just see them in practice, they'll joke, they'll be on you. They just know like the right time is too. because they'll be on you 1 minute, they'll joke with you, and then they'll help you like grade wise. You need something to eat. That was all helpful.
And I mentioned we would talk some more about sort of your bigger picture journey. And we talked about your dad was a fantastic basketball player. You come up behind little Shannon, who's actually pretty big, is a football standout in that last run that the Kittens had. Why weren't you playing football earlier in your career, and what brought you back and made you realize that I need to go be a part of these guys in the fall?
So like when I was like ninth and 10th grade, it was just I felt like basketball was really my calling because I wasn't a bad basketball player. I could score a little bit, rebound. But I would say around COVID, when my brother came home, we would go work out. We would go work out in the sand pit on the field. And one of his coaches was actually my coach now. His name Aaron Sutton.
Mm-hmm.
He was working us out. He was saying, man, you look good. You look good. You need to play football. You built like a little athlete too. Yeah, my brother, he kind of persuaded me, and I already knew coverages and a lot of stuff like that because me and him talked about it. So, and I was always into football. I just ain't played. So I don't know. It just after when COVID kind of died down, I said might as well give it a shot.
Happy you did, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How quickly did it click? Were there some growing pains early on last year before you finally kind of got your feet under you back on a football field, or was it pretty immediate?
I'd say after like the first 2 real weeks of football, I felt like, oh yeah, I could do this.
And so I mentioned Arkansas Monticello had come into play and extended you an offer late in this season, and you have that fantastic state championship game on the big stage. What has been some of the communication like on the football side of things from some colleges? How much have you heard from a few schools, and what are you looking for the next level, whether football, basketball, just academics? What are you kind of sorting through right now?
I'm just really weighing in my options. And football wise, I had a few D2s talk to me, D3s, and schools like Southern reached out, uh, with Grambling, uh, Tennessee State, some schools like them.
What has been some of the biggest advice you've gotten, through your young career, whether it be from dad or big bro or Coach Sutton, Coach Asbury, or anyone else around you as you kind of navigate it, figure some of these things out, knowing you have some talent in multiple sports, just how to approach some of this, some of you're hitting a big decision point in your life and just how to handle some of it and sort it.
It's been basically like, uh, don't rush things, let time take its course. If people really are interested in you, they gonna come. They'll come eventually.
What should folks expect to see from you guys basketball wise the rest of the season?
Rest of the season, I don't know. It feel like it's gonna be a show, really.
Y'all think y'all can bring another trophy home there?
Uh, most deaf, most deaf.
Shane, I appreciate you, man. Congratulations on everything thus far, for sure. And looking forward to seeing what's left the rest of your high school career here in the other sports and what's on at the next level.
Thank you.
You got it, man. Again, he's Shane Forman, fantastic linebacker, multi-sport athlete at Southern Lab, a big piece of that defense for now, the Division IV state champion Kittens over at Southern Lab. And for Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser.